YouTube, what's up there? Kenny here, also known as Nonfiction85. I'm trying to start this on time. We are continuing the Q&A series that I have going. Well, series, it'll probably be 2 videos, at least from the number of questions I have here. But I'm just essentially going through answering questions for my new subscribers. I'm going to also go ahead and apologize for any buzzing you may hear. As I mentioned last time, I got to get myself a new headset. And unfortunately, for some reason, with my new rig, I think it might be the audio jack. The connector from the headset that might be providing it, but anyway, if you hear buzzing, I apologize. But anyway, last time we touched on me having wings. I said I would sign a waiver. I would have people sign a waiver and fly them around, signing a waiver in case something happens, they get hurt, die, whatever. I'm not held responsible. So there you go. But anyway. Next question in the series of questions. By the way, there'll be a link to part 1 down below in case you want to check it out. What would it be like if you were taller than a tree? I'm actually, at the moment, taller than some trees. It would be interesting. Number one, I would worry about the physical drawbacks of being that tall. But at the same time, could get some work at a carnival. I think probably make pretty good money too. Help decorate Christmas trees, so on and so forth. So, my neighbors are talking. It's like everybody wants to get into these videos. First it was the dog, now the neighbors outside. So if you can hear them, they're not yelling or anything, but I'm not sure what they're doing. I think people are moving. It's weird. Anyway, I have weird neighbors. Really nice house, though. My neighbors have a beautiful house compared to mine. Mainly because I'm pretty bad at lawn work. I mean, I can cut the lawn like nobody, but when it comes to decorating the lawn, can't do it. And as much as I love my wife, she can't either. But anyway, what would it be like if you could walk up walls? Oh, it would be on. I would be all over that ninja show. I can never... Super Ninja Challenge or something. I can't remember the name of it. You guys probably know it. It would it would definitely be interesting. Sorry. But yeah, it would definitely be interesting to be able to walk up walls. I mean, can you imagine being able to sleep on the wall, like hang down like a bat? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm starting to sound like Rocket Raccoon. Get a bat suit, climb up on the ceiling, and hang down with it wrapped around me. That's fantastic. Okay. What would life be like if there was no television? A double-edged sword. Number one, you would lose all the fantastic TV shows that inspire people, that allow them to escape. But at the same time, you would lose the... How do I want to say this? Negative news. Yeah, negative news. I also don't think you would have the internet. Or at least not channels like YouTube. Because I don't really think you would have Hollywood either. So I think there's a lot of repercussions to no TV. I think it would be, again, good and bad. So it would be weird. When did you start YouTube? I started YouTube back in 2012. I said this last video, started out as a vlog, and then I moved to gaming with a mixture of vlogs, thoughts, actions, serious modes, So yeah, I've been going at this for almost 5 years now. I guess this feeds into the next question. Why do you like YouTube? I like the interaction. I like spreading a good message. I had a spark when I was a kid to try to maybe become a small-time actor. Which is, I just realized, because in the last video I talked about one of my pet peeves is people that wear masks, metaphorically speaking. And yet, I had a drive at one point or another to become an actor, which actors are famous for wearing masks, but for entertainment values, not for everyday situations. So, anyway, but yeah, that's why I like YouTube. It kind of helps me feed that small passion I have, I guess, to be in front of the camera. but at the same time be myself. It's a weird mix, because normally when people think of somebody being in front of the camera, they think of TV characters, movie characters, news pundits, pundits. Is it pundits or pundits? I can never remember. But YouTube is, and I hate saying this, in certain aspects, at least on my channel, is reality TV. Except, I hope, TV that doesn't suck. I'm not a big fan of reality TV shows. Never have been. So there's that. Anyway, but yeah, that's why I love YouTube. It allows me to do what I want to do, and I enjoy doing it. And what I was going to touch on is that a lot of people would say, we have very few subscribers for have been doing this for so long. What's wrong with you? Nothing's wrong with me. People either see my channel, like it, and stick around, or they don't. I'm not one of those folks that have caught fire and I'm taken off automatically. In fact, if anything, I think it makes a statement that I've been doing this for so long, even with so few subscribers compared to most channels. And yet, here I am. I haven't burned out yet. Knock on wood. And the reason that is because there are times where I take a break. Not for a long time, but I'll at least put up an update video saying, hey guys, I'm taking a break. Be back in about a week. It also helps too with the gameplay videos where it's just gameplay. It's not just commentary. It's just me playing. And I touched on this last video. I sometimes will do commentary and gameplay. 2 different series of it for a game that I really enjoy. So, there are reasons why I'm still around. How long will I be around? I don't know. But at this point in time, I can say for a good while. So there's that. How old are you? I touched on this last video, actually. Tomorrow's my birthday. I'm turning 32. I was born in 1985. The same birth year as the Nintendo Entertainment System. Fairly proud of that fact. What's your real name? Kenny. If you do some pretty heavy digging, you can figure out my last name. I try not to give it, though, just for security reasons, I guess. But again, with that said, it wouldn't be terribly hard to find my last name. So, there's that. Do you have any siblings? I do. I have a lot, actually. I have 3 brothers, 3 sisters. I'm the oldest out of all of them. They all live in Texas. So there's that. Freaking Texans. So, what's your favorite movie of all time and why? Okay, so last video I gushed and talked irrevocably about being a DC fanboy. But when it comes to the favorite movie of all time, DC movies only make up about 2 of my top 5. My top, and I can get into the other 4 in another video, but my top movie and why is Lincoln. Steven Spielberg, Lincoln. Daniel Day-Lewis' rendition of Lincoln was phenomenal. I mean absolutely phenomenal. I'm so glad he won an Oscar for it, for Best Actor. It gave me goosebumps to see this man do Lincoln. A truth about Lincoln that that a lot of people might not realize is that there is no modern recordings of Lincoln's voice. So there's no telling what Lincoln's voice sounds like. There have only been reviews and secondhand descriptions throughout the years, through documents, of what Lincoln sounded like. And in a nutshell, it pretty much said he sounded nothing like what you would expect him to. So, we can only guess what the man sounded like. But, and I know it's pretty cliche, but Lincoln, I look up to Lincoln in a lot of ways. Because he did things that he knew were true. He was true to himself. He was true to people. And he went against every odd, everything thrown at him, with pure will and drive to do what he did for people. And that's what inspires me about the man. Not just that, but the man himself. The way he held himself, the way he spoke. He had his downfalls. I mean, he's human. He made his mistakes, especially as a man. But overall, what history remembers is the things he did. And that's something I've always told myself, is do things that history will remember you for. And hope that they're good. It's another thing about having a YouTube channel. You know, I'm reaching out to people that, unless otherwise, I would have no connection with whatsoever. Aside from maybe gaming on servers and stuff like that. Okay, so Lincoln, top movie. Who's your favorite actor? Favorite actor and comedian is Robin Williams. Again, another figure that passed away. Is Robin Williams, because again, just like Lincoln, this is a man that did what he loved, was passionate about what he did, and bettered humanity for it. And unfortunately, much like Lincoln, he met a very unfortunate end. God rest him. And he went through stuff that was true to my heart. In the last video, I mentioned a dark period that I went through. What happened to him inspired me to take a different path. I'll just go into that. But if you want to know more about it, check out the link below. You can check out the other video. But yeah, so Robin Williams overall. If I had to pick somebody that is, I guess to put it bluntly, still alive, actor, actress, wow. I hate to say it, but I can't really think of any. Ben Affleck. Again, another person that has had his faults. You know, he's made big mistakes with his personal life, but he's stuck true to what he's doing. You know, he loves it. He loves to direct. He loves to write. He loves to play his characters, and he's dedicated. And he doesn't want to do it unless it's right. So that's something to respect. So I guess overall would be Ben Affleck. And yes, it's mainly because he is Batman, but at the same time, if you look at the guy's track record, compared to a lot of other people in Hollywood, he's a beacon in ways. Not every way, but in ways. Okay, do you prefer fiction or non-fiction books? Fiction. Mainly because I like to escape. Just like anybody else that reads books, plays video games, watches movies, watches TV, or whatever hobby you use to escape from your reality, is something awesome. But you don't want to do too much. Just a heads up. But yeah, totally fiction. I like nonfiction though, mainly for biographies. Everyday news, I've caught myself keeping up on politics a lot nowadays. But everyday news, I don't really tend to watch that much because it tends to be pretty negative. But I pick and choose the everyday political news that I read from sources. I pick and choose my sources because the people that I watch, especially on YouTube, are very straight to the point, and at the same time, most of the time, very positive, and give hope instead of trying to incite fear. So that's that's the nonfiction that I guess I would go towards. But the question was for books. It's mainly fiction. When I was a kid, I read up a lot on dinosaurs and the Civil War. So that's obviously going to be nonfiction. But reading anything nowadays, it tends to be fiction. And it's not exactly reading anymore for me. It's more audiobooks. So there's that. All right. What would you do if you had $1 million? Well, family would come first. I would get my parents a house. Get them a house, pay off the bills for the rest of their lives. Obviously, get me and my wife something really nice as well. Get us set for life, I think. And I think that would be the end of it, to be honest. I mean, I would help my siblings as well. But parents, siblings, and my wife would be the whole circle. So yeah, there's that. I think I would split it up. Yeah. So yeah. Are you a money spender or a money saver? I'll admit, I'm a spender. As you grow up, you learn to control it, which I have, thankfully. But if I have extra money, I'm going to go after something I want. And that's the way I've always been. I I don't see that as regret, thankfully. I've never been in a place to where I've put myself in a bad situation due to my spending, so I have that, which I'm proud of. But you know, I could learn to save a little better. I'll admit that. What's your favorite kind of music? Rock, rock, and some metal. I love positive rock. I've had a long time ear for Disturbed. Some Corn. Um, I mentioned last video that when I find something that I really like, I'm dedicated to it. Um, Sometimes even fanatically so. And Disturbed is one of those bands that I am very dedicated to. That and Linkin Park. Linkin Park as well. And I like these bands because they're, especially for Disturbed, there is some realistic drives behind their songs. There is messages that I totally line up with. Linkin Park's a little different though. They tend to be pretty inspired by different sources. They blend stuff that you don't exactly hear every so often, and man, does it work. With that said, I'm also a big fan of Mike Shinoda, who has his side gig of Fort Minor. I love Fort Minor because Mike Shinoda is of Japanese descent. Some of his songs reflect his history, especially here in the U.S., especially back during 1922 when the Japanese were locked up in internment camps. He's got a song called Kenji that I posted on my Facebook the other day, talking about how people being scared of a certain race leads to people's lives being ruined that have nothing to do with whatever they're scared of that race for. So I think that speaks the truth, especially nowadays, to what fear in a country can do to a people. And it's just a fantastic song. And he blends in sayings of his grandfather speaking, his father speaking, and I think it points his grandmother as well. So I love the work that these guys do. Genre overall, again, is going to be rock. I love fist pounding rock. I love, getting my blood going. With that said, I've been to some concerts, never been in a mosh pit. Unfortunately, I think it would be awesome to be in a mosh pit, even if I had to have surgery afterwards. But anyway, do you have a favorite band? Yep, just said it, Disturbed. Favorite song would be The Light by Disturbed. If you don't know what it is, I'll put a link to the video. I'll try to remember to put a link to the video down below. A very uplifting song and a very awesome video as well. And that's what I love about it. I love the uplifting. Usually when you say uplifting, it usually tends to have to do with like a Christian basis, or at least in my experience. But these Disturbed is not in any way religious. They're more realist. They provide a message that is just amazing to me. Some of their earlier work didn't. I'll admit that. It really didn't. But overall, it had a message to fight, to keep going. And that's what I love about it. So that's the kind of music I surround myself with. That and bands that are inspired by it. And perhaps rock songs that are Disney songs as well, that have been converted to a rock and metal format. So, yeah. Anyway, do you play any instruments? I can play the triangle like a madman. Ding, 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 ding. But no, when I was a kid, they tried to teach me piano. I like to bang on the drums. It's like any other guy. In fact, I put up a video at one point. You can probably find it here on the channel, of me doing the drums in Arc to a drum solo. Worst thing you will ever watch. I kept it up, but yeah, don't watch it. What is your favorite game to play? Man, that's a loaded question. It just depends. If there's one that I love to continually replay at the moment, is Tomb Raider. And I've mentioned this before, any excuse or chance I can get to re-put it up on the channel, I'll do it. Return of the Tomb Raider is really good as well. Final Fantasy, I'm enjoying that right now, especially with you guys. You guys are awesome. But I guess one that I love to chill out with and play. It's actually been a while since I've done it. Overwatch. Pretty much any Blizzard game, because Blizzard games are so freaking complicated sometimes, but at the same time, it's so simple. It's ridiculous. World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, Overwatch. I never heavily got into StarCraft. I did play it for a while, but you know, as I mentioned, if I find even a company or a band or a person or an actor or a YouTuber that I thoroughly enjoy, that I can really feed off of in a positive way, I'm dedicated. You know, I'm sold. You got me. Even if even if you start nickel and diming me for stuff, as long as you're keeping up the content I can enjoy, I'm not going to complain. And it's not because I have a lot of money. I don't, actually, to be honest. I'm pretty much not rich. But yeah, I guess any Blizzard game would probably be the game to play. So that's pretty much it for this. Let me see. Well, here's a couple more. How old are you? 32. Best memories? You know, my best memory would probably be the first girl that I ever fell in love with. We did a lot of things as kids together. It was fantastic. I mean, she had a go-kart that we would ride around the neighborhood on, and it was awesome. I love those memories. It's so cool, and I'm really glad to see she's doing really well today. She's still strong. She's still going. She's a fantastic mom, which is awesome. Memories of my wedding are fantastic. There was some drama with it. Luckily, you know, nothing of consequence, but overall, it was such a fantastic time. Good music, thanks to my brother-in-law. Dancing with my mom at it. Obviously, dancing with my wife. It's really cool. You can probably tell that some of the best memories I have are stuff that come out of love, either in a relationship or family-wise. I remember going to Six Flags with some of my cousins. That's always awesome. For those that don't know what Six Flags is, it's a theme park when I lived in Texas. So that's just some of them. Do you have a job? I do have a job. I work in telecommunications right now. I've worked in customer service going on 12 years tomorrow. Retail, management, tech support, different things like that. I've worked at four different gaming shops: Game Exchange, GameStop, Blockbuster, and Game Rush. So that's kind of cool. What town do you live in? I'm not going to give that out, but I will say that I live in the mid-U.S. And that the Razorbacks are a local favorite. So there's that. If you're wondering what teams I go for the Cowboys in the NFL. Overseas, I'll watch them every so often. Manchester United. For those that don't know, it's a football team. Well, soccer here in the U.S. At least I think they're Manchester. It's been a couple of years since I've watched a couple of games, but I used to watch them. For no particular reason. They're just the first soccer team that I came across, and kind of stuck to them. So, other than that, I'm not really into sports all that much. If I do have any favorite YouTubers, I'm actually surprised I didn't have this question on there. I just made that up. It's the people I hang out with that are my favorite. I do have some political YouTubers that I watch that I really enjoy watching their stuff because they get right to the heart of the matter, again, with a positive message. Favorite YouTube channels. I guess it falls under favorite YouTubers as well. Epic Lloyd and Ice Peter. I love the epic rap battles of history. A lot of people say they're, so old or too cliche or too whatever. I still enjoy them. I love them. Death battles. Obviously, it's been a while since I've done a death battle reaction. I'm waiting for the one with Nathan Drake and Lara Croft. I plan on doing a reaction to that one. But probably my favorite death battle is the one between Joker and... wow. How did I forget this clown's name? Sweet Tooth. Yeah, Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal. Probably had to be one of my most favorite death battles. Just because it's so awesome to see these two going at each other. It's fantastic. Other than that, I really, to be honest, I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube. Other than that, I'm watching movies or TV. Favorite TV shows at the moment, like I said, I'm a DC fanboy. Arrow, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow. Was Constantine until they canceled it, but they're bringing it back in animated form, which is awesome. The Flash. I like Gotham. I am catching up on Bones as well. Person of Interest was a recent favorite that I just finished. What else? I'm thinking about checking out Riverdale. Riverdale's another show on the CW. I'm a bit of a, again, CW fanboy. If I find something, I'm dedicated to it. Riverdale is a live-action rendition of the Archie comics in a darker manner. It's very interesting, and I'm gonna check it out. And I'll try to keep y'all up to date on how it's going. But it's really, really awesome. Obviously, Game of Thrones, Lemony Snicket on Netflix. The new Lemony Snicket is a series of unfortunate events produced, directed, and I believe co-written by Neil Patrick Harris is fantastic. I can definitely recommend it. Most of the Marvel shows are really good too. Punisher, Daredevil, upcoming Punisher. I don't remember if it's out yet or not, but the other one with the chick, I can't remember her name. Yeah, so anyway, there you go. That's just a list. Obviously having to do with nerdy stuff. But anyway, that'll be about it. My dog's going crazy, just like in the other video. I have no idea why. I'm gonna have to go check it out. But remember, you're awesome. Never let the world tell you otherwise. And for now, I'll say salute. I hope you enjoyed it. See you.